Yes, if you can do a brief presentation of yours.
Okay. So my name's Annie. I run an app development company here in Nottingham in the UK. So we make mobile apps for iOS and Android devices. So that's things like iPads, iPhones, and Android. We've been going since July 2011, so we're in our fourth year now. Towards the end of our fourth year. And yeah, we mostly make apps for business clients. So there's other companies that we make apps for and country. So yeah, I start business with my husband. Steve, so he's a programmer, he's in technical side, my technical side. And now we've taken on two more developers that work with us. So we now have a team of 4 of us. Yeah, that's about it. That's a very brief summary of us and what we do.
Well, okay, thank you. As far as we heard, we had some problems with the sound, but right?
You're back.
Yes, we had a problem with the sound, but as far as we heard, you are developing apps for smartphones and iPhones. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Mobile apps for smartphones and tablets like iPads.
Okay. So, Hazel, do you want? Okay. Well, Hazel.
I don't see. I can see those microphones are all. They've got the no microphone down. I don't know if the sound turned off again.
Yes, there's a problem because she left. Hi, welcome. Hello. And Phil, also from Spain. How are you? Welcome to our session.
Here we have Carlos and Jane, also both from Spain.
Well, Hazel, we were anxiously waiting for you. Hazel, you have to turn on your microphone.
Mine is turned on.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, Carlos, yes.
All right.
We are hearing you. Thank you. Hazel, can you turn on your microphone because we can hear you?
Mine?
No, Hazel, not
yeah.
Okay. So we have heard the presentation from Hanny.
Okay, well you're a long way away.
Okay. Can you do a brief presentation of yours, just for us to meet you and to know what you are doing in creative industries, and how can you help us develop our business ideas?
Okay, my name is There's a lot of echo. You might I live in Nottingham in the UK, and I make jewellery. And I make jewellery by dyeing metal. I don't know if you can see. I dye metal lots of different colours. I then cut it up and make jewellery like bangles, earrings. I've been making jewellery for 30 years, so I'm quite old. And yes, I have a successful business, and I sell to about 250 shops in the UK and in Europe. It's gone all quiet. And yes, and that's what I do. I make jewellery. Nothing clever. Okay? You've all disappeared. Oh, you're back.
No, we are here. I was just asking you if you can show you the picture, the materials that you showed us. Because you have to put us a little higher than that.
Can you see it?
No, because we have the photos. Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Okay.
Okay, I make things like this. Bracelets. Thing. Yeah. Oh, that.
We have among us João.
Sorry?
Among us, we have João Catarino.
Yeah.
He's also a jeweler.
Ah.
So perhaps you can share with him some interesting ideas.
That's a good plan. Does he work in silver or gold?
Business model, I suppose. Yeah. No, I didn't say no. Another one. Okay. Someone is trying to.
That is the phone. It's all right, no problem.
Joe, definitely we are not able to hear you. Can you turn on your microphone?
Can we not hear Joe?
Oh, that's the very beginning. I've sent the presentation.
Joe just said that she can only chat by type. We have a message of her.
Sorry?
Because she cannot. Joe just said in the chat part that she can only use sound when the webcam is connected, which is not. So it's only on chat by type. So I think she won't be able to proceed with our presentation.
Good. Okay. Joe? No. Okay. So, Eva, can you, perhaps we can go on and we can have some presentation from the Spanish members of the program, Carlos and Chel. Chel, is spelling right or?
Chel, yes.
Okay. So, Carlos, do you want to take the floor and do a short presentation of your project to our executive?
All right. I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't talked in English for so long, so I don't know if you are gonna understand me.
You sound fine.
Okay, thank you. How would I do that? I send the presentation to Eva, and she has it.
Yes, but maybe you share your screen.
All right.
So you can follow your rhythm.
All right. Wait a moment, please. Can you see it? No.
Yeah. Something's coming.
Suppose we have now microphone Greece, right?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we are here.
Yes, I'm Mike from Greece. Hello, Jose.
Welcome. We are starting the presentation. Now is the first presentation from Spain. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
Should I start?
Carlos, please go ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is Carlos. I'm going to present a project idea. This project is called. Now I'm going to explain a few things about it, but I would like to start introducing myself. Who am I? I'm Carlos. I'm 29 years old, and I am a student of computer engineering at the Open University of Catalonia. I consider myself an active person who likes all kinds of sports and to meet with friends. The idea. At the beginning of this course, I try to find a problem that needs a solution, and then to think how to solve it. I love to eat out with friends, but I get desperate when I have to call the waiter, so what can I do to solve this? I thought that it would be good if you could order by yourself your food and drinks from the table, and then the waiter just would have to bring it to you. I thought that I could create a device that could be installed in each table, which will allow the clients to order by themselves. The main benefits for the customers will be that the customers could have information about ingredients, allergic alerts, photos, videos, best rated dishes. The device will also provide entertainment while the clients wait for the food, such as games for children, adults, or competitions between tables. And the clients could also share pictures in social networks and send recommendations to friends from the smartable device. The clients will choose when they want to print the bill, the clients will choose when they want to print the bill and the way of payment. And while they are waiting, they can do a poll to share their opinions. They could also create a user profile to register their favorite dishes and to have recommendation the next time. The restaurant will also have some benefits, like they could serve more clients with the same number of waiters, they will have more customers per day, the restaurant will have a great amount of valuable information from the polls, and all the information collected from the restaurants will be analyzed and sent to the owners, giving them reports about trends in restaurants of the same features. The business model. Because this project is a really young project, it has not been developed the business plan yet. At the moment, it has been made the blue ocean strategy and a few iterations of the business model canvas. Right now, we are working on prototypes of both the customer-facing application and the restaurant's application to do some tests with real subjects and interviews to obtain information about what they think about the Smartable and see if they would like to go to restaurants that have this device. The critical issues. The most critical issue is going to be the software development. It should be offered a product developed almost at 100%. It is normal that we do changes to improve the system, but we should not do major changes because it generates distrust from the restaurants. The success of our project depends on the information provided by the restaurants. If we don't have a large number of them, the result from the analysis is not going to be reliable. Then the doubts. The main doubt that I have is how should I plan the stage of the development? I don't know how to control how much time will I need to develop the system, because it is a software product. The development can vary a lot, from 6 months to a year or even more. That's it. Sorry, because I didn't have too many time.
Thank you, Carlos. Jose, I turned off your sound because you seem to be the biggest interference with quality sound. Sorry.
I'll just turn it on again. Well, thank you very much, Carlos. Very well, good management of your time. I don't know if Annie, Joe, or Hazel want to comment right now the idea, what you have proposed to us. Perhaps we can do that, Annie and Hazel. I don't know, Joe, I still have problems to. Well, we cannot hear you definitely, but you can talk through the message system, perhaps.
Yeah. Would you like? I got some feedback. If you like some software development point of view, if you like. You were mentioning about level of development and not knowing how long your project might take to build from the development side, so all the programming of it. And I was thinking that what you said as well about restaurants not trusting you if you make changes, and kind of combining those 2 points together, that it might be a good idea for you to focus on a couple of the core features of your product, because it sounds like you've got a lot of things, from displaying a menu to taking information from people who are coming to the restaurant to eat, to games and stuff for children when they're in the restaurant. And I would say probably focus on a couple of the core features that you want to get in first, and that are the most important to your customer. Get those to be really good, get those out on the market, so in some restaurants where you can test it really well, and you can get customers using it, and then come back and think about some of the other features that you want to include. And the reason for that is that you can then spend less time developing up front initially, get something out that you can test, and then you can make additions later on and changes. And I would say not to worry too much about restaurants not liking the changes to the app, because I think to develop a very good app takes a lot of sort of iteration and development, and going back and speaking to your customers and finding out what they like and didn't like. So that's just some advice from having done lots of software development projects.
Thank you very much. I couldn't hear everything because there were too much noise, but
yeah, there's a lot of feedback noise.
I agree with you that I have to focus first in some areas and then try to test it and then see what else can I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, perhaps now Chell can do the presentation of his project. You agree, Chell?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will now share the screen. How can I share it?
To share your screen, just go to the left in the Google screen, and there's a small green screen with an arrow. Green screen with, just press there and you choose yes. There you are.
You see now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, so my project name is PS Go, which means PS means Pallars Sobirà, which is it's an area in northern Catalonia. Let's say it's in the Pyrenees. It's Pre-Pyrenees and Pyrenees. Yeah. Okay, so I will show you what I have done. Despite you will see that some of the points are not finished, like the operational plan and the agenda. So let's start with the team. I'm a graphic designer. I'm focused on multimedia and interface design, and I am also really related to usability. I'm also related to Pallars Sobirà, this area, and I have a high knowledge of this area and its surroundings. And also regarding photography, which I think is really important to this project. Plus, I have some business knowledge. Well, as an overall, to start with defining the project, I could say that it is addressed to people who want to know the area and who want to know what to do when visiting, but not only when they are there, but also before going or even after. And not only people visiting, but people already living there who want to know more about it. So it can be used also as a database where the user can find all kind of information regarding tourism, such as cultural events and even so many things that you can find there and that you don't even know they are there. Not only visitors, but also inhabitants. So, as a single sentence, I could say that PSGo pretends to be a mobile tourist office so that you can check all the information wherever you want, wherever you are and whenever you want. So what did it took me to take this project? Well, I realized this area was not promoted enough. It has so many and so less is known. And there is no quality product at all. I mean, you can find some information like here and there, but nothing is put on a single place that you can find everything. Plus, I found that users and companies are not really related. So at this point, many companies do not even have a website, which means they have to trust some websites such as Booking or TripAdvisor, and there's no way for them to communicate with the users. There's always someone in the middle. So this was also very important to me that both of them could contact the other. So then here it comes, what PSGo is. So the idea is that it is a responsive website adapted both to desktop and mobile touch platforms that displays the whole tourist offer in Pallars Sobirà, always up to date, which means that it's a service currently unavailable because there is nothing up to date, and at the same time there is not a single place where to find all this. Even some information cannot be found anywhere. So the idea is to have a useful project to a wide amount of users and a continuous and endless field work, which means that you always have to keep working on it, not only to keep the agenda up to date, but because there are so many routes you can also transfer to the users and so many data that is constantly updating that you always need to keep working and be there. So as I told you, PSGo means Pallars Sobirà Go, but it also comes from postscriptum in Latin, which is something like, after reading or visiting the website, did you like what you saw? Do you want to visit? So just go, like a PS at the end of a letter. If you like it, go. Well, here is some, because there is as you can see, the brand has already been created, so there is some idea of the chromatology and so on. And now we go to the need satisfaction. The need that I found that there is that we need to inform through a single place, as I already said, about everything happening there, everything that could be of interest not only for the visitor but for the inhabitant as well, and also to offer something that is not available at this moment and something that doesn't really exist, which means to have something for a very, very specific area with a huge amount of information. At the moment you can find the websites which offer something which is the other way around, let's say, something not to a very specific area and with a few information of each. So the point is just to focus. Some companies have already tried to create something there, but they have not been relevant, and it is not very clear what they plan to do. At this moment, there's one portal informing about business in the area, such as hotels, restaurants, and another which tries to be updated with the cultural events, but not only for this area, but some other areas around. And also we have one company, but I don't even know much about it. It's not very well known, which offers to buy local food from the area. Then the idea of PSGo is not only to offer this information and to sell products, or food products, but to sell all kind of all kind of products, from hotel rooms to food, T-shirts from the area, which have been becoming very popular, everything, but also to promote it and to convince the user to come if they are not there already, and to do activities there, to let them know there's plenty to do. So, therefore, this website would be focused on leisure activities with a deep knowledge of the region, its folklore and identity. And this we need to transfer it to the users, which means, for instance, displaying routes that we have done for them and we have shared through special social networks, so that they don't get lost. Because it's a horrible point that happens there, that many people get lost because signs are not correct, especially in the middle of the mountain, so that you can just have it. You just have to follow what your mobile phone says. And at the same time, we would promote the economic development of the area. As I already said, there would be the possibility to manage hotel bookings and the online shop, but not only with the local products I already said, but with our own products, which mean, for instance, selling our own pictures we have taken during, while we were recording routes and so on, or maybe a T-shirt. It has to be analyzed, but of course the pictures that we get. And at the same time, it would be a very good idea to help companies there to have, for instance, a website or even a visit card, which they don't have. And it's really important. So the idea is to offer to these companies something at a lower cost than it would normally be. Plus, we also have a blog which enriches the user experience. This means that every time we go outside and we record a route, we explain what happened, why is it difficult to take this route, and why is it so important that we share it with you. And also we have the agenda. The agenda at this moment is also shared through the blog. So talking about the strength, I would say that the most important points are that we have direct contact with the user, not only the project, but also company appearing on the project. There's a lot of feedback from users thanks to a personalized attention. This means that we can contact them, they can contact us. Everything is very transparent. Whatever you need, you can just contact. There's someone behind the project. And at the same time, there's already knowledge and contacts with companies in the area, which might make it a bit easier. The weaknesses might be the technological limitation, which means that all the booking management needs a lot of development behind, and at this moment it is very difficult to implement it without a funding. The programming and the database is also difficult to manage, so it is important to have a strong back end. And probably another weakness is that I don't completely live in, or I don't live all the time in Pallar Sobirà. I have a house there. I can spend as many time as I want, but I cannot stay there like forever. So opportunities that came up while trying to launch the project were a downtown office in Sort. So in case of need, we can always have a physical presence. Also, that it is a really rich area, but it has not been exploited. And this, and where I just explained about the cross-selling, about complementary products, especially websites which could be at the same time related or linked to PSGO website and things like that. Finally, the threats are concerning what would happen if we have more bookings that we can manage. We also have this copycat competence, what would happen also. And finally, that in some areas of the territory, owners of the companies change so often that probably you get to know one and you get a contract, or they ask you for a website, but what do you do with it if later they change the owner? And for instance, this owner doesn't want to keep on that. So this is one of the biggest problems. So the target of the project is, well, the project is focused to men and women aged 18 to 55, which have a standard of living medium or high and same level of culture. They like going outside during the weekend, on holidays, whatever. And also they like nature, spending time on the mountain and taking risk activities, adventure activities, or just relaxing. And currently, because of there's a language limitation, which means that this project would only be available in Catalan, Spanish, and English.
Careful with this, because I don't want to get all mixed up.
Okay. At this moment, some contents have been detailed, not only about the information about each business and each place to visit, but also to have a browser, an agenda, contests, routes, legend, curiosities, maybe gastronomy, and other topics in the website could be like a language selector, legal notice, the theme, to enrich the website not only with the basic information, but to provide more. And regarding the next steps, well, the first and the most important one is to find funding. Second one is to keep collecting content to grow the information, because there's more and more and more, everything's changing, so you need to be always updated. And at the same time, keep the cultural agenda up to date, because you don't always, I mean, every weekend and in the summer, every week, every day, things are happening and you need to inform the users. So this would be all the presentation. I am working on much more, but at this moment I only have this to present. And well, as you can see, there are some threats, and probably those are my bigger concerns, how to solve these threats.
Yes, we have a question from Patricia. Here we go.
Ciao. Ciao, can you hear me? No. Hello? Hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Thank you for your presentation. I wanted to ask you if you have more members on your team for this project, or is it just you?
Well, at this moment it is only me, but my husband and my brother are helping a lot when recording routes, when taking pictures. So it is, at this moment, it's everything very familiar. It's myself, but whenever I need, I just ask them, and they are always willing to help.
Okay. Does anyone else have comments or questions? Iso or Annie?
Yes, I was going to say, don't worry about getting too many bookings. That would be a good problem. So don't worry about that. And don't worry about all the negative things or people changing or moving away. You just want to get people interested in your product. Maybe if you are in England, I know there are a lot of artists who would like to go to places, beautiful places in France and Spain and Portugal, anywhere, where they can paint or learn a craft or a skill, or holidays where people want to go who are really into yoga, or those kind of groups of people like beautiful places. So target people like that. That'd be a good thing. But don't worry about getting too many orders. That's a good problem, not a bad one. Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. Yeah. yeah, especially from a technical side. Also, if you set up something like set up a server on Google to handle your server and everything, that can usually expand quite easily with more, like the more traffic you get. So again, yeah, probably don't worry too much about getting too many orders at this point, and just know if you're suddenly going to get 1,000 in one day, if you can spot that coming, which I guess if you do a lot of marketing, you will be able to. Just think about it then. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So just one question about your business model. I didn't realize quite well what will be your source of revenue, for instance, for your business project. Can you did you already thought about it, or do you have any? I was asking about your business model and about basically the source of revenue for your project.
Okay.
Did
So
you explain that already?
what I did, take all the information and all the conclusions that I got from that into the presentation I just made. But I have my business data presentation and the Blue Ocean strategy presentation as well. I also have a canvas. So if you want, I can share them with you. But as I was saying, it just what I made is to take the conclusions from there and place them on the presentation.
Yeah, but I think that Jose is trying to convey the idea that it's difficult to see where money is going to come from in your proposal.
Because
maybe it's a secret, you want to keep it secret, and okay, but if you are trying to get some help.
Okay, no, that's a problem actually. That's why I said find funding, because I have several ideas about how to get funding, but this project has been trying to be launched since 2009, and the problem is the funding. That is because at the first time I thought about, well, I go and just ask companies to, if you want to appear, just pay. And I realized that wouldn't work. And that wouldn't work because I'm a freelance and I have been working for some companies there, and I've had horrible problems to pay even 100 euros. So it is very difficult for them to pay to you, because when they transfer you money, it takes too long. When you ask the bank to take the money from their account, they have no money, or it is returned, whatever. There's always a problem. So I cannot go company by company saying, hey, do you want to pay? Then I realized that I was not promoting only companies, but the whole area. And here it comes when I talked to some people related to the area, and they recommended me to ask the the regional council for funding. The problem is that I don't know how do I have to contact them. I don't know how do I have to present the concept to them. I don't know what to say to them if I go there and just need to contact. That's why I don't know who must be funding this project, who must put the money, let's say, who has to create it.
Yeah, Patricia will say something to help you.
We were just commenting that maybe also involving your regional government, because it seems also that your project has a part of social economy. So it's something that probably that area, the region, would be interested in. So maybe involving them would also be a good idea. The regional government.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also perhaps some European funds to regional development. I'm sure that in Horizon 2020 there are funds to support the development of the region that can be used for that. And tourism is an important sector in European funds. So perhaps you can look at that. But that, once again, that is more related to funding. It's not so much related with the source of revenue for the project. Once again, you will have the problem that you referred. You have to develop a business model.
Oh.
I don't know if I was clear to you. You couldn't hear me.
I can't hear you. We lost you.
I didn't make money. Yeah. What I was saying is that you have to split the idea of funding for your project from the source of revenues of your project. These are two different things regarding funding and regarding the source of funds. For funding, you can go and you can apply perhaps to these regional funds and to some programs that can help to develop your project. But regarding the source of revenues that will feed your project annually, you'll have to find look for business models that from the virtual sites and so on can help you through promotion and so on, that can help you to get some funds. Was it clear for you?
Well, I lost a sentence which I think it was important. I heard about finding funding for the project, and then you said, but to find, and I could not get the rest of that sentence.
To find the source of business revenue. So one thing is to fund the startup of your project and the development of your project, the development of your website and so on, or blog. Is how annually feeds your business, how to pay your salary, how to pay your expenses annually. And for that, you will have to develop your own business model, your own source of revenues. Perhaps Annie, since she's working on also more or less on this domain, she can help us to develop this idea. Annie, you want to go on?
Yeah. I think everything that Jose is saying is definitely seems right to me, that it's important to work out one, also like just focus on one revenue stream, one set of customers who will be the ones who will pay for the content, and then work out what it is that they will really want to have. So not knowing the area and not knowing the sort of people you're talking to, I probably can't say exactly what that would be, but it would be to focus on, is it going to be the businesses in the area who are going to benefit the most from the product? Therefore, will they want to pay to advertise in it? You're suggesting maybe that might not be the case, but that's one example. Or is it that the people who are coming to visit the area, would they have a lot of benefit from using it? Could you offer maybe some stuff for free, and then maybe make an app the way they can then pay to access more content? I think maybe if you can look at other products that are similar, I've certainly seen some ideas for similar things in the UK, apps and things providing sort of trip advice and information about visiting an area. If you can look up other things that are similar and see what their business models are, because if there's something that's working somewhere else, you could probably take that and apply it to your situation. But I think it's very, very important, as Jose was saying, to find how your product is going to make money, because you will need a lot of money to upkeep, like it says, to pay your wages and to upkeep the technology and your server and that sort of thing. And if you're going for funding, for some initial funding to help get the project off the ground, if they can see very clearly where your revenue is going to come from, then they will be much more likely to be confident in supporting you, because they will see how they will get their return back. But yes, it's not, I know it's not an easy question to find an answer to, because you have to find where that revenue is going to come from, and maybe it's some research, lots of research and thought into who is going to pay for this and what are they going to pay for.
Thank you very much, Annie. It's well, I think your ideas are very important to this type of projects. I'm sure that Shell will think about it as soon as possible. Okay. I don't know, perhaps now we can hear João Catarino. As I said at the very beginning, he also is developing a project in jewelry. So perhaps, well, even for Hazel, it can be important to listen to him. He's going to share, he's working on Patricia's PC, so you'll see the presentation through Patricia PC. Oh.
Hello. I hope you are seeing now my presentation. My name is João. I'm 32. My area is jewelry. I had put here a little resume of my way to here. I think it's too small to see there. But, make a zoom. Okay. Okay. I'm a very creative. After some years, I changed school, and when I finished, I made an internship. Then I had won a scholarship from Gemological Institute of America, so I went to Thailand to study jewelry design. After that, in 2010, I created my brand jewelry, Catrium Jewels. I started a shop and didn't go well, so I had some experience with this. I had the opportunity to make the crown of the Miss Portugal in 2010. I also worked in Paris in a workshop. I also went to an internship in the United States, in Florida. And I also had some prizes in jewelry competitions. Okay. Since 2010, I've been working on this. I had some knockouts, but I always get up and keep following. And in the middle of these years, I've been developing more my idea and gathering experience, developing my collections, and now I think I'm achieving a state of near maturity of my project. And now that I have my ideas focused in a target, my idea comes to join the traditional Portuguese filigree with a modern look. I also these collections you see here with the filigree and the others. I have been showing these collections in some fairs. I had my feedback, and that's well, I had my feelings on this, but I also confirmed my perspective that I had a very good feedback on these collections. The first is the filigree. The second is a more young and fun collection, where you see that rabbit, that it have several items on that collection. The third one is a combination of techniques that results in something that I never saw in the jewelry field. It's innovative in this field. And besides that, I have more conventional lines, and I also make exclusive pieces. So the state of development, as I've been saying, I've tested the collections on fairs. I also share it on social media time to time. I don't reveal much, but sometimes I put a piece or two for a few days and I take it off just to see the feedback, and the feedback has been very good. I also have my website online since several years. From my website, sometimes I get some orders on custom pieces. It's what I've been working in the major time. The rest, most of the prototypes of the collections are almost done. Just a few pieces to complete the collections I have in idea. The idea of the business plan is sketched on paper. From all these years gathering the experience, I always been sketching the ideas and the plans, what I want to do, and everything. So now I need funds to implement the business. I need to create a team because I've been doing everything by myself all these years. And when I say everything, is everything. And I need a real workshop, an office, because the major work I've been making at home. Okay, something is missing. I think he's missing the file. Okay. No. It's going to put up. I think it didn't pass all the documents to the flash drive. Não. O que é que faltava falar? O que é que desafio de facto? Okay, and the rest of the file was about the finance, what I need, how much I think I need to start. I made a plan for 3 years to start. I think it's the implementation period. It's for me. I see it as 3 years. After 3 years, I think I can go by myself. I think for 3 years I need something about no, 300,060 euros for 3 years. I think maybe I've been thinking about this. Maybe this can increase a little, but after this I can go by myself, and that's it for now.
Okay. Thank you, João. I don't know if you have some comments on that. I would say, Hazel, do you think you can help João? You have to turn on your sound.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds very interesting. It sounds like you've been all over the world. Lovely. You sound brilliant. I haven't seen any of your work. I can't see anything, which is a shame. But I mean, I've been making jewelry for 30 years. That's been my business. And I'm now making quite good money, but because I sell to shops. rather than to individual people. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Okay, like I said, I sell to shops, not to individual people. And I sell to lots of shops. So I make lots of money.
Yeah, my intention is not only to sell to individuals. My intention is to make wholesale. And I was thinking, the markets I'm thinking about is USA. I'm thinking about Germany. I had a very good feedback in Germany, and also I'm thinking about Russia and Asian countries.
Well, narrow it down a bit, rather than the world. Maybe try one country at a time.
Yes.
Okay, so trade shows. Have you been in a trade show before?
Yes.
Yeah.
When I say fairs, it's the trade shows.
Well, that's what I do. I do lots of trade shows and get lots of customers, and that's how we make our business. And you sell cheaper, but you sell more. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah. So you just want more. Why not try and get a student to help you for work experience if you need some staff, and you pay them no money, so that is better. Try getting English students. They would love to come and work with you. And it's a holiday and work experience, and it doesn't cost you any money, so that's a bonus. Okay? Okay.
May I ask you something that I think can be interesting to all of us? You were saying about selling to shops instead of selling to individuals. But as you know, there are too many differences between a small shop and a mega store and an international distribution channel. What do you advise João for his business? What is most interesting for your business?
I think, for me, for my business, I just sell in small shops. Small shops, not big shops, because they take too much money off you. They want too much. Smaller shops where they appreciate handmade jewellery. That's what you want. You want middle-aged, middle-class ladies with money. Yeah? We all like those. So, smaller shops and more shops. That's what I would advise. You don't want one very large shop that sells a lot of stuff. You want lots of little shops. And then if they don't pay you, then it's not heartbreak. Does that make sense?
Your sound, Jose.
I'm sorry. I was saying
silencing all the time because it's the only way to hear the one who's talking.
I was saying that by choosing smaller shops, you can manage better your financial risk regarding credits. So you sell less, but if the customer doesn't pay, you have a lower risk, right? That's it also?
Exactly.
And
yes, if you have a really big shop that buys orders for thousands and thousands, and they don't pay, then you're in a mess. And that's not good. And that's happened to me, and it's not good. So smaller shops, and where they just play medium-sized orders, is good. It's better. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, yes. I think it's very reasonable. So perhaps.
I'm sorry. Do you have a team working with you, or you work by yourself?
No, there are three of us. And I do all the designs, and I paint metal, and I paint aluminium, and then I cut, add with silver and stuff. But yeah, there's three of us, but we sell to hundreds of shops. So we work a lot.
But your customers, your shops is like craftsmanship.
Yeah. And for me and for my shops, it is that it's a handmade product and it's made in England. And people like that.
Yeah.
That's good. So I have to push the fact that it's a handmade product.
Yeah. You sell only for England or for several countries?
Anybody.
Yeah, but at the moment.
You want to buy? Anywhere. I just sell anywhere you can.
Okay.
That's my advice for the day.
Perhaps you can do a trade-off. Okay, we can bridge, perhaps. Okay. I think Angie needed to leave us. So. You are alone, Hazel.
Hello.
I think you are alone because your colleague needed to leave us. But I think perhaps we can hear the project from Patricia. Is also a very interesting project on the cultural side. Patricia will show the presentation that she prepared for us. Okay.
So are you listening? Can you hear me? Okay, probably yes. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen, but you are not seeing anything, are you? Because I can see it.
You can see anything, right? Questa è la presentazione.
I can see you.
Oh,
Okay. Well, let me just.
agora já está. Já falei.
Okay.
Não funciona.
Okay, the full screen is not working, but I will tell you the main idea and go through the slides. So, my project is called O Circo. Okay, the circle in Portuguese is called O Circo, and it intends to be a cultural cooperative that is embodied in a cafe bookstore that will empower the community through arts, through different projects and activities. It intends not only to have this relationship of a service, of a cafe that is open until late, or a bookstore where you can buy books, but that has activities where people can engage in the arts, that has shows, that has different workshops and courses. So let me see if I can do this. So my presentation, well, first of all, I always have a little difficulty in presenting my project because I think being a little bit attached to a physical space and not to a product or not to just a single product, it is a little bit more difficult to present it, because for me it's really related also to this physical presence in the community. So I did the presentation more conceptually related to me and to the project itself. So this project is also the story of someone, and it starts also with my story, and my background is on communication and cultural studies. This is me. The picture is a little bit small, but in the public library in Stockholm, and it's about individual personal needs and dreams. And I tell individual because everyone that would come to this space, it would also be considered as someone in particular. So in the belief of the transformational role of the arts, so it would also be inserted in social economy, in wanting more for yourself. So let me just, okay. So it's also the story of a place, in its inspiration in the reference of other places that I visited while I was studying. I studied in Poland and in Czech Republic and also in Slovenia, and everywhere that I went, there was these places that to me were a home outside home. In one example was this Masolit Cafe bookstore in Krakow. That was a cafe bookstore, and that offered this possibility of people engaging, debating, and being engaged with, in this case, literature, but they also had other arts events. So the intention is to for it to be placed in my hometown in Setúbal. It's 45 kilometers from Lisbon, and there is no direct competition yet. There's no place like this in there. So in the future, one of the challenges regarding the story of this place, or the question of place, of physical presence, is the actual difficulty in finding a physical space that would be a bookstore, but also that would also have a small cafe and host some trainings or some shows, in maintaining the space. So maintaining the sustainability. So it's also the story of a community and the engagement of the community, our local community in particular, this city, and we want to that our segment and our main target will not only be the client, the medium class client that has the opportunity to buy books and to go to the cafe, but also to have activities that are open to everyone and to develop them in partnerships with other associations. So also to expand the community to partnerships and also the development of cultural tourism. So I put here two images. The one below, whoops, I'm moving it. The one below is an image from a specific group called in Covilhã, which is in the north of Portugal. And it's a transition group, so maybe people from England are aware of this. It was born in Totnes by Rob Hopkins, a professor of permaculture, and the idea of transition is to empower the community through many different ways, but mainly to empower the community. This is a group that I also was responsible for in Covilhã, and it was dedicated to traditional dances and evolving the community through traditional dances. And above this picture is my team. We intend to fund a cooperative. So we are all from Setúbal, and we are dedicated mostly, and our background, most of us, is related to the arts world. The first one on your left is Ricardo. He studied fine arts. He's a painter. This is me. This is Eva. She studied architecture and interior design. This is João. He's the only one that, in terms of academic study, is not from the arts or cultural world. He's a speech therapist. And this is Eduardo. He's an actor, and he studied in the conservatory in the Superior School of Arts and Theater and Cinema. And so I would say that our team is diverse, taking into account the arts world, but there's a challenge when I think about this, that the community and our community is much more diverse. And our challenge is specific skills, mainly finances and all the bureaucracy. It's our Achilles heel. So finally, this project is also the story of a city which is Setúbal. This is a frame from a local documentary from people from Setúbal, and they did this documentary called Setúbal, a chicken that doesn't sing. So it's a metaphor saying that Setúbal has a lot of potentiality, but it hasn't been using this potentiality a lot. So I put here some data. I don't know if you can see it, but Setúbal has, well, this is official numbers. Probably the percentage is a little higher. 16.5% of unemployment, and 60,000 of which are registered in local centers. But this is from all districts, not only from the city. So the idea is also to use local resources in the cafe, to use local products. All of our team members are from Setúbal. All of us are in situations, if not of unemployment, of precarious employment, and to use all the local resources that are in our hands to empower also a little bit our city. We recently started a research survey 2 weeks ago, and 90% we only had from now 155 answers, and of a sample of 350 people that saw the survey, 155 answered, and 97% of them said that they would like to attend more cultural events, and 2.7 from 1 to 5 they say that their level of satisfaction with the cultural offer is 2.7. So what next? What are our challenges and what are our next steps? Funding programs for young entrepreneurs with CAS. CAS is the entity in Portugal that funds cooperatives, that helps founding cooperatives and gives them technical support. With EFP as well. EFP is the training center for employment, professional training center for employment. I think more or less this is the translation. Obviously, also technical support is needed. But right now we have 2 meetings booked already with these 2 entities to understand better their programs. The financial viability plan, we started doing something, but we were starting to feel very lost. Funding the cooperative is also an important step for us. And designing a program that we all feel that we take a hold of. So specific activities in project, and also to have a strong online presentation of this project. And I think these are mainly my presentation. Thank you. This is the back cover of illustration book that I really like. It's I don't remember the name in English, but it's the Incredible Boy That Ate Books. So thank you.
If you want to open the floor and ask someone comments, please.
Okay. So if anyone has comments or questions,
Hazel. So. Hazel, I'm sorry to bother you. This is a somehow different project of yours, but anyhow, do you have any comments? Do you have some suggestions for Patricia or so? We can hear you. You have to turn on your sound.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. In Nottingham, there is a scheme similar, and what we do is a jobs share, okay, or a skills share. So somebody who is a plumber can then do something for someone who needs some plumbing, and in return they will do babysitting or bricklaying. Do you understand what I mean? So everybody swaps their skill, and that enables for the whole process to grow without money. Yeah, makes sense? So that works really well. What else was I going to say? I had lots of pearls of wisdom. Getting people involved, lots of students working for free, getting school children involved, doing a loyalty scheme. Do you know about loyalty schemes? Where in my jewellery business, what I do is when people buy a certain amount of jewellery, I give them things free. So you have a card and you put a sticker on, and then you get something free, like whatever, something in your business. Or you get different businesses to be involved, by advertising with you, and then people then come to their shop and buy through. You get free things. Basically, you give free stuff. Give people something for nothing, and they like it. So that's always a bonus. And if it's nothing to do with money, then that's even better. If you give your time, you have bands, you have music, parties, events, make a happy time out of it. People want to be there, they want to spend money with you, they'll tell their friends, their family, and your business will grow. Yeah? Okay.
So, may I challenge you for a similar thing that you have in Nottingham? It's called, I would say, Broadway.
Yeah.
Perhaps you can talk to Patricia about it, because as far as I see the business that Patricia wants to develop, if she's able to develop that kind of thing in Setúbal, a region that needs a lot new businesses and to develop employment for locals, perhaps they can grab these talents in there and to start developing businesses from there. What do you think about it? Do you think it's feasible or?
Always feasible. You have to, like Nike say, just do it. You have to just do it sometimes. Yeah. So be optimistic. Think it will work. Think you are the best ever, and you will be. Always get people to help you for free. Give them a present, make them cakes, make them food. If you make people food, that makes them like you. It's easy, it's not difficult. Parents do it all the time. So just basically be nice to people. Give them free stuff and they will help you. Get students involved, get people involved who don't need paying. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have to go now. I've got an order to finish off.
Thank you very much for all your time and for your assistance to this project. Perhaps we can speak later on different projects or the development of this same project. And well, I have to thank you and to your colleagues from Nottingham to joining us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so perhaps well, we will not have no one from Greece. We have also Carlos. Carlos is from Portugal. He's one of our colleagues from the program. Carlos, do you have a video there? No?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you have. Yeah. And I don't know if you want to share with us the presentation of your project.
Yes, I can do it, but can you see my presentation? No.
Yes.
Are you seeing my presentation there? No.
No, you have to share your screen.
So if I share from my screen, you can see it.
Yes. You have there on the left hand side a green screen that says screen sharing, a partilha de ecrã.
Great. Are you seeing now?
Yes.
Wait. So let's do it. Well, my project, the name is Educating with Heart, and I'm listening to the feedback because I'm listening myself twice. José?
Sim, Carlos, pode continuar. Eu já desliguei o meu microfone.
Ok. Não sei de onde é que vem, continuo a ter. Já desapareceu. So, So this project is built with people from an artistic association or cultural group. Those ones are my colleagues at Zoom Zoom, this cultural association. So what we have done, so we pick up the skills of each one and we try to build up a tool, an instrument of working to train young people on social entrepreneurship and creativity. So we build 4 actions that happens for a couple of months, and these 4 actions as the schedule that it's presenting here. And so on the first action, to train those people, we have created 4 models for creative entrepreneurship. So they learn by experiencing four kind of skills that are related with social entrepreneurship, and this is focused on what is the value that each individual has and how they can raise more value if they work in group. So this is the meaning of this first action that we run in this kind of training program. In the second action, we try to use the reading to expand or to explore the imagination of those participants, and they try out also to explore their oral skills and how to present them to
press the slides, otherwise we will not see. We
are you not seeing
the
slide?
Seeing the first slide.
Why? I am already on the second one.
Não pode estar em full screen, cara.
Como? Como pode ser full screen?
Não.
E assim?
Assim já.
Okay. I'm sorry. So I was explaining the first action, creative entrepreneurship. So now I was explaining the second one, the reading and the imagination, the second action, and this is based on make a dramatization of characters from the books that we are reading with those participants and exploring their oral skills and using this also as a skill that can be expanded. And on the third action, we do so-called community project. So the participants will experience all the creative process, so the different stages to fill up this creative process, and at the end, in the last action, the fourth one, we have a play, and in this play we'll be interacting with the participants from the results that they achieved in each one of the action 1, 2, and 3. For example, from the action 1, they will be building up or contributing for the event, creating this last day event. From the reading, we'll be having readings that will be interacting with the play, and people from the project community, some of them will be also acting during the play and having a character and so on for this play. So what we aim with this, we want to achieve our clients, but our client that pays is not the client that will be using. So the client that will be using this kind of training program will be students from schools and communities of young people in risk of social exclusion, and the client that will pay, hopefully, are autarkies and municipalities, and also national public funding, and the private sector exploring what can be their social responsibility for the communities where they are, which they have a neighborhood, for example. where we are now with our program, with our project. So we already developed all the concepts, and we are delivering our proposal to some clients. So we have already designed the actions, we have the contents, and we have organized all this program. We selected which artistic skills we should work with, for example, from Zoom Zoom, our group, and we delivered the management of each action related with such artistic skills, and we did the planning, and we already also delivered to the clients that will pay the product. So we already have a promise contract. We can say an agreement with a municipality for one school and for one community that has young people with in risk of social exclusion. We also submit our project to a national public fund, DG Arts, DG Arts, Portuguese. And so we are making this kind of road, trying to match what we designed as a concept and try to find which authorities, which agents or stakeholders will be interested that this kind of program run in schools or communities where they understand that will be useful to happen. So the business at this stage is to sell the product, educating with art to customers, to our customer segments, and on the second stage we want to sell the training, the program itself, to form other artists from other groups, other cities, and to figure out if it's possible to develop a curriculum based on education using arts as an instrument to achieve whatever we want to achieve as a program or as a training program. So the next steps, one is focused on selling, so to grow the number of clients for the product itself, and the management one, it's to establish a team to administrate and manage the full program, and to transform now this product that we have conceived and to deliver this to a third party as a service. So how to transform this in something bigger that could have like a concept of educating youth with arts. So how to expand this as a curriculum, and how to create new actions that could be fill this objective to create a new curriculum, or a curriculum that could be used on schools but also outside of schools to work with specific communities in a more broader, or yes, in a broader way. So more or less it's this. Thanks. And so if you want to,
yeah, thank you very much, Carlos. Let me first give a welcome to both Julian, that is watching us from Germany, is one of our partners of this program, and also to Lily, that finally joined us from Spain after some difficulties to do that. Well, after this presentation, very interesting presentation from my point of view, I would like to hear also the comments. I have a question from Patricia. I don't know if anyone else wants to comment, to suggest something, or to add something to what Carlos just presented us. But, well, we'll start with Patricia. Patricia, please.
I have three questions actually, but they're very short. One of them is if the members, any of the members of your team live only, I mean financially, from this project, or if they have other things, if it's sustainable by itself. The other question is, do you have a physical space? So is there some place that you also host the activities, or you just sell them to someone, or give them, I don't know, to someone, I don't know, schools and etc. And regarding the question of DGH, you submitted your proposal and it was accepted, or you're still waiting for the approval of the proposal? That's
Right. Thank you, Patricia.
No.
About the first one, if I understood well, you are asking if we have skills on project management and administrative. What's this? No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not listening. Can you repeat?
You're listening to me?
No, yes.
Yeah. The question was if any of the members in this project live solely from this project financially.
Right. All right. No. So Zoom it's a group. It's a cultural association. So they have different products. This is another one. So it's a product that it's putting together the skills and some kind of work that they are already doing separately to the clients. So I assembled this and I transformed this as a concept, the concept to serve this entrepreneurship, creative social entrepreneurship, and we had some kind of new things, but finally they are not living only on this. In fact, at the beginning, the main idea was, well, they are artists. They are mainly selling the product at the end of the week. So during the week, they are not doing work because it's not possible to sell the work. So what could we create as a product that could be sold during the week? So this was more or less the first talk that I had when they called me, come and help us to transform Zoom. So the beginning of the story 2 years ago, 1 year ago, more or less, was that what can we sell during the week? About the second question, it's no, we are not using our space. In fact, we don't have a space, just an office. We are delivering this kind of product where we are making the project happen in a school or in a community, and when we want to go to a community, we need to make a partnership with the spaces, open free spaces that can be there, schools also, fireworks. They have rooms. We already asked for this kind of space and so on. And about the last question, can you help me about the last question? What was the last question?
You referred that you applied to the DGH, the General Director of the Arts, and I was saying that if you submitted the proposal and it was accepted, or you're still waiting for the approval?
We are waiting.
The punctual one.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Jose, can you hear me?
Yes, Julian. How are you?
Hallelujah.
Hello, welcome.
Wow, this is a gift, and this is Monday. Lovely. The week can only get better. I have been trying to connect to you guys since an hour and a half.
Yeah, I realized that you were watching our YouTube version.
Exactly.
So with some delay, yeah. But now it seems that you came from the sky because you're all blue.
Very true.
Anyway, please go ahead.
Carlos, I'd like to congratulate you on a very nicely structured and very clearly, let's say, laid out presentation. Even though it seems so clear what we see, I have a very basic question. It seems very obvious to you and maybe to everyone else on the call, what is your actual USP, your unique selling proposition? And I would like to ask you where in this complex service you see the actual value that you bring to your clients. Maybe 3, maximum 4 aspects.
Thank you. It's a very good question. I've been wondering about that too. In fact, at least I think there is 2 or 3 very important aspects that can be underlined. One is we are, unfortunately, the problems related with young people that have been excluded from culture and arts. It's growing because everything has been monetized, if you can say like that. So we have more and more offers for young people, but everything is paid. So at the end, some groups are not able to 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 lead with these kind of offers because they are not able to pay and unfortunately this kind of the number of people that are in these conditions are growing. So I think the audience is growing and not and it's not being reduced. Uh, on the other aspect, it's what kind of schools are we building, and at least in Portugal, but it's not only in Portugal. We are so worried about to be rationally to be rationals or not to be rationals, but we are aimed to grow scientific skills, maths, language sometimes also, and computer science and so on. And I think there are this kind of holistic view about what's surrounding us has been neglected. If people have the conditions to do this outside of the school, maybe it's okay. But the other ones, or if you are in a community where you are you are in a social difficult condition, you are not touching that. And from my experience, I see that culture and touching that, not to be an artist, but touching those tools. This can open your eyes, can open your mind, can you stimulate the creativity, and you can see that you can do it. You can use this as an instrument to grow your value, to understand better what you are as an individual and how you can use this in your work later on. So I think this also is a very relevant aspect that should not be neglected and can be used or can be grown with this kind of offer, in my opinion. The final aspect, it's the artist itself, this community. So they have problems about all the time. They are in troubles with money at the end of the month. So as I explained it to Patricia, this could be also a way to monetize, so to create some kind of solution, economic solution for this community, because they can serve the community, but second also they can transfer value to the community. And on the other side of the coin, they also can make money to improve their financial at the end of the month.
Thank you, Carlos. I think you touched upon quite interesting points, and they make me wonder if your actual target clients could be extended a bit. If you think that the competencies that you have in your team and the value that you feel you can bring to your client could actually also mean that you can speak to corporates, rather, let's say, big to mid-sized companies that have a good number of employees that maybe undergo some changes in the structure of the companies, that can also touch upon mergers where companies go together and face, let's say, different cultures, and they have to find ways to incorporate, let's say, the cultures. Why not in Portugal and maybe in Germany, which tend to be different. And so what if you would think about including the corporate world, which already enjoys to a certain degree similar services by change managers or by others, but maybe not so much from a group of artists, that might have an even more creative and more direct way of dealing with certain issues. Because if you would extend the client group, you might actually talk to the only group of people who actually have money. Because schools don't have money, the whole educational sector hasn't money. So they are all kind of bootstrapping. They are all, trying to find ways. But the corporate world certainly has similar problems. They need to enhance their creativity. They are lacking the holistic view, as you said. There is some exclusive element because many people in big corporations do not feel close to culture and art, and probably would enjoy that. And can then use the tools that you would help them understand and play with. And I could imagine that a collaboration between artists and people in, let's say, a big team or only in a management of a company can be very, very fertile.
Thank you. I totally agree with you. It's not outside of our range, this idea. In fact, at the beginning, because I'm coming from this kind of road as a professional, I'm coming from companies, and when I met this group, I did a workshop with them, and I tried to bring some kind of this kind of approach to the company where I was working in the innovation department, and so I tried to convince my boss to do some kind of workshops using not all this spec that we are creating now, but some kind of skills that are coming from those kind of people. And he agreed to do that. At the end, we couldn't, but they agree. And so I totally agree with that. But it's interesting that first I was thinking about that, and after we changed totally the road, now we are, as you said, focusing on those people that you can see as victims, socially, economically, and so on. And we almost forgot. And now we are bringing up again the idea. So thanks so much. You are totally right.
Very good. Now, I think you do have a very strong proposition there, and I believe that if you create packages, if you, for example, look at the needs of those corporates and create packages that might, to some degree, even involve the other client group. There could be participation by those you feel are left out of the educational system, for example, or who are interested in creating a social enterprise and don't know how to do it. And if their objectives fit, they could collaborate with a corporate as interns, and help them put stuff into place. So there could be maybe something like a win-win situation so that people really benefit from the guidance they find within the group of artists that you will work with. At the same time, you can make these links even between the two client groups that you identified.
Good, great. Thanks so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Julian, for your valuable comments. I don't know if anyone else has some comments. We are dealing with Carlos and we are watching this business model canvas. We will discuss it in detail in the next day. I'm sure that some of the suggestions will be considered for this business model. I think Carlos' idea is really very interesting. I think also that there are some bridges that can be done between the project of Carlos and the project of Patricia. They can learn from each other. I don't know, well, in Spain it seems that there are no similar projects like this, but in Greece, as far as I talked to Joseph, there are also some projects, possible projects on this domain. So perhaps we can do this bridging in the near future. I will.
José?
Yes, Julian, please.
Excuse me. Since I now can speak, I have to catch up. So sorry, but there was one thought that came to me when Patricia was pitching her idea of the cycle. I was wondering, Patricia, if you could use one of those models where participants of the network you seem to be creating there, so a group of people who work together, know each other, meet each other, and share a vision, if you could, for example, say that whenever you gather or whenever, let's say, somebody brings a cake to a meeting that you do or some event that you might host, everybody is donating, let's say, €5. So you put that aside, you collect as you go per event the contributions by the people who are collaborating with you, and that maybe is also a possibility online, you know, that they say, I can't join, but here are my €5, so that you over time build a little fund that then enables you maybe to do something that the cooperative feels like doing, so that you create, you know, your own little investment opportunity on aspects you feel are valuable and that are in link with the values your network is sharing.
Okay, thank you, Julian. I don't know. Perhaps we can take advantage of your the less times that you were not present. Well, you were present, but you were not on direct on this thing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard also about the projects of Carlos from Spain and about the project of João from Portugal and also Chel. You had the chance to listen to them, and do you have any comments to present to them?
There would be maybe a comment on the presentation of the young lady who came from Catalonia and had this tourism project. And I think, because I probably joined during the second half of the presentation, and the feedback that I could hear basically pointed in the same direction of my thoughts, which is to create, first of all, contributing partners, because I feel she cannot perform all those tasks between herself, her brother, and her husband. I think there needs to be a support system in place, and there need to be people who contribute content because they feel there's added value. And I think the added value comes into place once she has partners like the municipalities, like the cities, like tour operators, like, let's say, the Restaurant Hotel Association in the region, so that they feel there is a platform that points people to the valuable content that showcases their products and their services. And I think once this is in place, she really has a good point then. But I think it makes no sense at all to try this platform to create this platform between three people. This is overwhelming and nonsense in my view. You know, so she needs partners who supply content, and they will come on board and they will be motivated if she has partners who actually say, cool, I want this content, it's valuable for me.
I think your comments are very valuable. I don't know if Chel wants to comment on your comment. Chel.
Yeah. Sorry. I want to thank Julianne for her comments, and I completely agree with her. Actually, it's on mine to try to have some partners or employees or whatever is needed to keep the project growing. It is in mind, but not at the moment. I mean, I completely understand what she says, but because, again, sorry, because of the funding, everything is so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's in my mind to grow a team as an employees, partners, or whatever it has to be, because this project is huge.
You know what I thought? Maybe you can come up with something like a case study that you create based on similar services in other regions, where you copy-paste stuff that you feel would describe the activities and services that you are looking for, and you create something like either a little video or a PowerPoint that highlights the services and that already looks a bit like an interface. And once you have that, you could go to your regional government and speak to the associations that represent the hotel sector, the restaurants, and the actually tourist board, and say, look, this is what I'm planning to put in place. These are the services and products that my platform is supposed to feature. Are you behind it? Would you support it? Would you buy services from me? So that you get feedback from these people and establish a relationship. And I think the feedback that you would get from these, let's say, 3-4 key actors in your region would be very helpful to point you in the right directions so that you can focus on key services first and build over time as you grow into, let's say, the lesser important services that still are valuable, so that you build from a strong perspective and know that what you do is relevant to the people in your region. Because I think you really need to connect to these people in person early on, so that then they can and their needs also guide you in a sensible way, so that you do not assume they need stuff, but that you actually do exactly what they need.
What they need. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very interesting.
Sure.
And regarding the project of Carlos from Spain now, and from João, any comments? Do you remember the cases?
I have participated in the presentation of Catarino, Jules.
Yeah.
And I think there's really not much I can add, because the assumption that sell to as many as possible and to small shops was very, very good. It's where probably the critical mass is being established. So I think this was very useful. His product is good. I think the problem here is the marketing. And I didn't hear him speak about the marketing and if he has any strategy in place already. I suppose he needs, or he could think a little bit more about the target client. So who actually is buying the jewelry? He might know actually a lot more about that, and profile his target client a bit more clearly, so that he can identify channels how to reach the target client and to more specifically pitch his products to them and to make them aware that these high or these top quality products exist.
Yes, I don't know if Carlos wants to add something to his presentation. I fully agree with you. And in creative industry, there are always, from my point of view, these two different perspectives: the perspective of the creative, the creator, and the inspiration to create something or to do something, and the real needs of the. Well, that was in fact one of the questions that João himself put it to our entrepreneurs present here. I don't know if João wants to add something in order to answer you. I'll give you the word to him.
Hello. Well, about the marketing, yes, I know I need to work on that. But how can I say? Well, I don't know how to express myself. And about the target customers, that's a question, as the teacher said, I intend to do today, because it's like, for me, is a dilemma. Like as a creator, as a designer, it is said that we create trends and needs in the customers. So they might not know what they need, what they search, and we create something. About the target, if I had not put the product yet on the market, how do I know where is my target? That is my question. How to find it?
Maybe a suggestion. It's a little bit of looking into the crystal ball, obviously, but there's an interesting exercise actually, in which you try to summarize characteristics of the person that you imagine to wear your jewelries. And obviously you have sold already stuff to people. So you already know a little bit about who they are, what they like, how they look, where they work, how they live. There might be some aspects that you already have a good understanding of. So it would be maybe a possibility to create this, let's say, this dummy. Yeah. So this one person that you create. And you imagine this person basically sitting on the next side or the other side of the table you are sitting on, and you start to describe this person, and you design this person, and you give it all the aspects that you feel this person has, and then by going back to all the description, and the longer and the more detailed it is, the more it will be helpful. You can then say, okay, so I'm just making this up. It's obvious for me that this is, let's say, a tech nerd. Yeah? Probably it's the opposite, but I'm just making this up because I'm just coming from Sonar in Barcelona. So there were all these tattooed, bearded guys who are, into DJ stuff, and they are programming things, and they are doing stuff that I never heard of. So I know they are tattooed, they wear beards, they have a strong sense of personal design. They look in between gangsters, geniuses and artists, or drug addicts. So, you can create this picture of people where you go like, all right, this describes my target jewelry wearer quite well. And then you go in bits and pieces, said, okay, so where does he buy his cannabis? Where are the tattoos from? Where are these nerds? Which blocks do they go to in order to understand what's currently happening in the scene of music technology? So you break it down in bits and pieces to understand what each aspect of their interests and each aspect that describes their personality is kind of linked to. And that can be, as I said, blogs, magazines, shows, that can be events, that can be many things. And all of a sudden, you have a big spectrum of potential channels that you feel relate to your target client. Yeah? You know a bit what I mean?
Yes, by your answer, I think I already know my answer.
Good.
I'm just afraid to to put it in fact. It's just like it's for me it's a supposition, but you confirmed my supposition. So okay, I know the answer.
Very good. So once you break it down a bit in detail and add the channels, I think you have a good guidance.
Okay. Thank you, Julian. I now realize where your inspiration came from. when you're from Barcelona, so
exactly.
Okay. So just before to go to Lily project, I don't know about Carlos from Spain and his app to help with the menus in the restaurants and so on. You didn't have the opportunity to hear his presentation, right?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately not.
Perhaps you can share your presentation with us, and I will send it to Julian, and perhaps Julian can send comments. Do you agree, Julian? After later on.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay. So you, as you know, you have access to the platform, and we'll have to see how to deal with the platform, and then you go there, and you'll discuss with each person if you want the ideas and some suggestions. So if you agree, I will give the word to Lily to present this project. Lily, do you want to share with us your presentation?
Hello. Yes, I would like to share it with you.
I haven't developed it a lot, but well, it would be interesting to know what some of the invited people can tell me to improve it, of course.
Do not forget to turn on your microphone, please.
Yes, excuse me. Now, can you hear me? Yes. So I'm going to.
If you share your screen, do not put it in full. No, not full screen. Yes. No.
Yes.
No. If you press the slides, you will not see. Yes, like that. That's okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I start. So, well, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. Well, as I've said, my name is Liliana, and I'm 24 years old. I live in Igualada, a town that is near Barcelona. Nowadays, I am working as an English teacher in a language academy, and I am studying a master's degree in cultural management in order to reinforce my cultural knowledge. My main interests are music, performing arts, education, and language and learning languages. And well, and my career goals are both doing some investigative work on culture and developing my own project. And the project I want to develop comes up from different traditional ideas, and it consists of a live show that mixes some characteristics from music videos, soundtracks, theater, and musicals. The show I want to develop includes both dramatization through dance and powerful and meaningful lyrics, accompanying my music, of course, that tell a real story or an historical event. The main difference of this show I am introducing to you and other shows is that there isn't any dialogue and any performer singing alive. It's like a kind of music video, but on air. There will be different stages, changing according to the lyrics in order to state the main story of the show. And in order that you can know more about my business idea, I will follow the BNC structure that we have been working on the previous weeks. So, well, according to the different topics I want to offer, the telling a real story and an historical event, the value proposition that is also a competitive advantage of my projects are the following. If we tell a real story, ordinary people will be the centerpiece of the show, so that they will be part of the creative process and they can participate in this way in the show. But if we tell, on the other side, if we tell an historical event, the main value is spreading history knowledge in a different way, in an original and attractive way for students of these subjects. The target markets, I thought that the perfect ones would be Spain and United Kingdom, but I think that this kind of product can be exported around the world. And if I can be a bit more specific, but I have to keep thinking on it, is that the target customers will be people between 16 and 70 years old, with a high cultural value and a strong interest in performing
art, of course. Other customers that can be interested in this kind of shows will be educational institutions because of the topic I've told you, the history events, and other theaters and festivals. The main distribution channels that I will try to attract customers around the world and, well, will be mass media, of course, internet, social networks, and through publicity, of course. And I think that in this business, the most important thing in order to establish and maintain the customer relationships is providing an efficient service and communication. And I think I have to be very close with the people that is interested in this show, and try to satisfy their needs and demand as much as they can. The revenue streams will be mainly obtained from the ticket sales and the gift sales. There will be different ways of getting them, purchasing them through contests and draws, and etc. And there will also be a special discount for retired people and students in and the key resources to develop this project are mainly professional staff and infrastructure and equipment according to the characteristics of the show. As I've said, I don't know if I have said it or not, but the thing is that the main stage, will change according to the lyrics of the song that is being reproduced. And so the infrastructure and equipment is an important resource, and also the capital, the partner contributions, and of course the website, and that must be attractive. The key activities, as I have already commented, are going to be telling a story through dance and music lyrics, and creating and producing this kind of show. The key partners that will support us in order to make this idea happen are local governments, funding bodies, and professional staff and service suppliers. That their contribution, I think, is very important, because we are talking about a high-cost project, and I think it's difficult nowadays to achieve this amount of money, because it's very expensive, I think. Well, and finally, the main cost I have to take into account are the salaries, royalties, the production of the show, and infrastructures and equipment, and of course publicity. But I think that this will be the main cost I will have to take into account if I achieve to develop this project. And I know that it's an ambitious project, and it is difficult to get all the necessary resources to make it happen. And I have written down some of the critical issues that I should take into account to continue developing it. And there are some different factors that I have to rate, such as if it's possible, the combination of the two topics I have explained. I'm not sure, because of course it's ambition, and I don't know if it will be if they can be perfectly combined in order to achieve the target market. And another factor that they should take into account is that the staging, that we are expecting to, we have to satisfy the customer wishes. So I think that this is one of the main things that I should take into account in the moment that I start producing, or I start developing the creative part of the project. And another thing is that getting the perfect infrastructure, as I said before, and getting funding and finding organizations interested in this kind of show genre. I think it's one of the most difficult things I can't face up. But well, I think everything is possible, so I have just to work on it. And the most important thing to develop it is that I have to assess if there is an opportunity for this show in the global financial crisis context we are currently living in our countries. And well, that's all. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you have liked my project business ideas, and if there's anything that you don't understand, don't doubt and ask me. And your advices and suggestions will be welcome. I have to say that I have some questions for you, and when you tell me, I will ask you. So thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Lily. It was well, very interesting project. I don't know if Julian has some comments also to present, or someone from here to your project. I have a specific one of the things that I shared with your colleagues from the program here in Portugal. I suppose just in Portugal. It was a blog from someone called Mimi that has taken. You are not hearing me, correct? No. I was saying that one of the histories of entrepreneurship that I shared with your colleagues from the Portuguese program, it was someone that decided to share her real life story. Her name is Mimi, and his blog developed with a business model adapted to the virtual world is producing a lot of resources to her. He decided to film, to record her life, daily life, and some specific parts of her life. And many people is watching the blog. Of course, she uses it to make some promotion of some things, but it's a kind of real world indirect. I don't know if looking to your project and when you talk about high needs of funding to develop your products, whether you can try to get inspiration on something like that. Because one of the most difficult things precisely for this type of project is to get funding. So if you reduce the need of funding, perhaps you can start differently and then to go to your project. I don't know. It's just a suggestion that I have to present to you. Of course, Julian will have 3 or 4 more suggestions, but
I'm, to be honest, not quite there yet, because I'm still a little bit lost on what the show actually is about. I didn't quite catch what the show will tell me. What's the content of the show? I still don't understand.
Hello, Julian.
Yes,
I'm going to explain it to you again.
Thank you.
Well, the show is like, well, if you imagine a music video, right? And you put this video on a theater, but on air, so live. I mean live. The show is that, for example, one person will come to me and will explain me his life, and then according to his life, I'm going to prepare a performance through dance and writing some lyrics, some music, and using this, I'm going to put it on a stage, and the show consists of staging the story of this person through different stages, and showing what lyrics are saying. I don't know if I have explained it better now.
Okay, so if we are talking about a stage play, is that what we are talking about, or are we talking about, let's say, a YouTube channel?
We are talking about a stage. It's like theater. Like it's a mix from a theater and a musical, but it's something that it's just in the middle. It's not a theater because there won't be any person speaking. There isn't any dialogue, and there won't be any person singing alive. So it's just the lyrics of the music that are going to be staged on air. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Not fully, I must admit, but at least I get a little bit of more information. So for me, this looks like a concept for, let's say, a stage play that is multi-media, more or less, based on a real person's life story.
It's like
yes.
if you got the script from a real life story and then you put music on it and you present it on a stage, is that it?
Yes, more or less.
So you get
the important thing is that the lyrics of the song are the main protagonist, the main character of the show. It's the lyric of the song. So according to these lyrics, there will be different stages that will appear according to the lyrics, and there will be a dramatization, a dance that will represent it. I don't know.
Okay, so I think there is some. Oh yeah, please. There's a word from someone else. Please go ahead.
It's me, Carlos. Just try to make clear. If I understood lyric, it's the storyboard. So the storyboard will be made from the what people will tell to you. So he tell a piece of his life. You create a storyboard, and this storyboard will be presenting in a dancing, right?
Yes, more or less it's that. Yes. Thank you.
So you are transforming a piece of life of people that are from somewhere else, from a place. So it's like a no one, and you create a story from his life through a dance. And this is the business model. Take a story of no one. I'm sorry to call these people no one. So a non person is a non person, his story, and a dance, and you are transforming that into a play.
Yes.
For a representation, right?
Yes, that's it. It's that. Well, there are two topics. The first topic, it would be the one that you have said, that an ordinary person comes and tells me his or her story, and according to that story, through dance and through the music, his life or her life is staged, right? And
when you say it's a stage, I not understand. When you say it's a stage, what do you mean? It's a word that I'm not understand the word. Not what you are saying.
The representation on a stage.
The representation. Okay.
Yeah.
So I understood well.
And the other topic is that doing exactly the same, but with history events. For example, I don't know. For example, the French Revolution. So writing some lyrics explaining what happened in the French Revolution, writing lyrics, and through music. And dance, of course, staging or representing it on a stage, and and the good thing is that the stage, the main stage, will be different different boxes that will be light and light according to that lyrics. I don't know if you understand me.
Okay, okay, I think so. Just let me just give a parallel. Someone from Galiza pick up some ladies that they were just working at home. So it's like her stories would be not interesting to no one. But at the end, they were filming that and they were broadcasting that. But at the end, it worked like a catharsis because people could find that our lives that seems no important could be some importance for another ones, and these stories, because they were shared, they grow importance for the people that were listening that, because they could identify themselves in this kind of story, and they could understand that yes, my life has some kind of meaning and has meaning for another people. So this is like a parallel that I'm creating, and I'm thinking about that when you are explaining your idea. It's something that seems that it's uninteresting it's like a diary of someone, and you pick a piece of this diary and you are inviting artists to represent this piece of life of these people.
Yeah, I think you really have a strong point there, Carlos. And I would suggest, Liliana, that you check out what's currently on stage, because contemporary theater has been adapting real people's stories quite a lot. So there's, for example, Rimini Protocol. They took those stories which often have a political or strong social component even to the streets. So I think the stage as a place to show something is a little bit 19th century. So if you really want to be modern, you probably need to think outside of boxed stages like a theater house or something else to introduce something new. So I find the approach is very interesting because we have lots of very interesting stories in normal people's lives. But what Carlos says is absolutely true. It has to have a kind of a global, or let's say, more to have people focus and follow you. And I think you need to understand closely what's the state of art of current let's say, interactive theater, because they are way beyond those concepts. So if you want to engage yourself and invest lots of time, I think you should do it based on some analysis that gives you a good lead on what they already do and cover, and what you can bring additionally so that it becomes an interesting user experience for your audience.
Okay, thank you for the suggestions. Maybe I haven't explained it the best I could, but I will keep working on it, and I will try to correct that small things.
Yeah, you're competing with a very strong global world of theater makers. You know that, right? And there's lots of stuff out there that is incredible and travels. And I think if you look at specialized houses that focus on these independent subjects and indie artists, you will find many that do similar things in a different way. But I think you need to stand out today. You have to have a very particular angle. You have to have a very particular artistic expression. And you need to bring something unique to the audience in order to be able to conquer a theater or to conquer a channel or something like that. And it seems you have something in mind that you feel stands out from the rest. So maybe you can try to describe that in your presentation, or make a drawing or something, or a graph, so that we better understand where you feel you do something very unique and different.
Yes, I think I will have to draw it because I think it's more difficult to understand.
Yeah.
Let me just add to use some another issue. If you try to find in Portugal, we had an exhibition 3 or 4 months ago that was called 7,000 million of others. I think it was a world exhibition of someone that was funded by some program. It's a Good Planet Foundation, if this reference may be useful to you. But they filmed persons all over the world, from city, countries, and so on. But they asked the same question to all of them. And at the very end, they had an exhibition of photos and videos that was shared with everybody in a world exhibition. That at the same time, although there was a concrete guide for the questions and everybody had the same questions, but the differences between persons were very interesting, and then they decided to do this exhibition. Perhaps it can be somehow an inspiration to you, and you can see what you can do. Because what Julian said in short words is, who will be your target customers? How do you get funds that will support your business? That are crucial questions that I think you should think of them before going to your business idea, to develop your business idea. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have Michael from Greece. Michael.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. You
I'm
already
really sorry, but the connection was bad.
You already start your
Now
group
I came back. I have some entrepreneurs here in Greece. Can you see? I'm switching the camera so everybody can see.
Hello. How are you?
Can you come a little?
Yes. I will show you the room here.
No.
Hello.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Very well.
Encantada.
Boa tarde. Encantada.
So we are in the middle of a 5-minute break with these new entrepreneurs, these creative entrepreneurs. So may I see you some of the works? You can see some great painting. There you are. This one. We have this painting. Don't know if you can. It's the trip to Kiffin. And this as you can see.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I like that. So you are in the middle of a class. You are in the middle of a face-to-face classroom, right?
Yes. We have this session, and now we are doing the break.
Okay.
So I'm really sorry about this.
definitely the sound not working well with you. Anyway, this session is being recorded, and you will have the opportunity to assist to all of the sessions in YouTube later on. We had the chance to have the presentation of different projects from Portugal and Spain, and we also heard very interesting comments and suggestions from entrepreneurs from Nottingham, and also with the help of Julian from Media Deals. Well, I think the level of discussion was very, very good. Unfortunately, we didn't have the chance to have any presentation from Greece, but I'm sure that you are doing that job in your face-to-face sessions. I will later on discuss with Joseph the progress of the works in Greece. I know that things are running well, and well, we will talk later. We lose Greece now. Okay, so Julian, I will come back to you. I come back to you now, and just to hear if you have any comments to add. I will ask you the project was from Spain, and to, well, if possible, to present your comments to his project. Besides this project, I also sent the presentation of another Portuguese project regarding digital signage. It's, I think it's a very interesting project. I don't know if you have the chance to, if you had the chance to look at it. The presentation is a video that was produced by Pedro, one of our members of our program in Portugal. I can share the link for the presentation with you. Let me just see how I can do that. I'll share it with the persons that are here now. So I just sent the link to the presentation of Pedro about digital signage. It's a very interesting project from my point of view. It's developing, well, somehow it's similar to the project of Carlos that Carlos presented us, but well, in a different way, because it seems that Carlos' project is about something that people can use individually. This digital signage is a kind of marketing promotion, and I don't know if you know the concept of digital signage, but I think it's very interesting. The difference from what exists right now is that they are developing this app also for Android, and they can do a remote management of the digital signage in different stores. So the difference is that the same storage chain can do the management of the digital signature of the different stores centrally. So it's a very interesting product from my point of view. I invite you to see the video and to present your comments. I don't know, Julian, if you had the chance to look at it, can you?
No, I haven't seen it before. So do you want me to look at the video now? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I turned off the sound. No, I'm saying that later on you can look at it, and and you can present also your comments in the Moodle platform.
Sure.
Okay. So I don't know if there are any questions more from Lily, from Carlos. in Spain or in Portugal, from João, that's still here with us, and or from Nuno, that's also here. No questions, Lily? No? Carlos, no questions? None of you. Okay, so I think I have to thank Julia.
Well, sorry, I was without with audio. I have been writing here in this chat. Well, I'm sharing now. It's a little bit long to Lily, but I try to save using words. Maybe it's faster. Sorry, Lily, if this is totally out of your idea, but I was thinking and also thinking about what Julian said. Maybe your project may work better not in a theater, but working in communities where neighborhoods and so on. So I see here two you need to work with the people more or less like as I'm making with my project. Who will be the people that will pay the project in one side, on the other side the people that will be using the project. The people that will be paying, maybe it's not the audience of the show that we'll be creating, need to be another people. And because Barcelona has so many we can say problems or constraints related with the immigrants and the integration, there is so many studies made by the university UAB, you know, university. What is the A? I don't remember the A. I can send you some links from some professors that they are making loads of studies related with those communities, where what they are doing, what they are facing, and why not to match what they are doing with your project and with one or more communities of artists, and invite them to the project to figure out how to fund fund the project, to fund this, to pay this, and after you can collect stories in these neighborhoods, and the audience will be the neighborhood, and make this happen. More than one story for neighborhoods, and maybe you will find another way to put together those people from this kind of communities, and they're working with middle-aged people or old people, and maybe you will find something that that can be new, or can be, maybe it's not totally new, can work well in Barcelona, but not only in Barcelona. Well, I hope that you could understand what I said.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I will write this down. So thank you very much. I think it's an interesting thing what you have comment about the communities, and I know that I have to rethink about it again, but I will do it because I think that the different thing is there. Well, I explain it again. That there is a difference between what I want to do and the traditional theaters, and I think I will find a way to fit it in our well, I don't know the word now, in the community, okay? And I will try to rethink it, and I will take I will write down your notes, and thank you so much for your suggestions. I think that they will be very useful for me, and I'll try to do my best. And thank you very much.
Okay, so
you are very welcome.
Yes, I think it's important that this networking will, besides this this session, this online session, will continue on the Moodle platform. The presentation of your project was very important in order for us to align more or less the strategies to develop networking on Moodle. Now, what we are going to do is a parallel work in two senses. The first is that in your, I would say, national class, virtual class on Moodle, you will continue to develop the basic concepts and the theories to develop your project. But on the European class, on CINet Europe, We will continue to work in order to develop this networking. You will have specific forums where we will register you, and according to these similarities of your projects, we will put you in the same group, and you will have the chance to continue this discussion. So we'll be following your discussions, and we will intervene whenever it's necessary. But we expect you to develop your job and this networking in the CINet Europe. So in one sense, you develop your skills to develop your business model and your business plan. And in another sense, you develop the networking to develop your idea, to find bridges, and to develop your projects. That's the interest of this European project. That's our aim, and we hope that we will achieve it. Julian, we will count on you also to promote these discussions in the European class and this specific forum, okay?
Sure.
Good, thank you. So if there are any other questions, I will consider that the session is closed, and I have to thank you all for your patience and time dedicated to the session and your contributions to the discussions. Okay? Thank you to all of you.
Jose, could you stay on for a moment?
Yes, please.
Absolutely wonderful.
Okay. Thank
Take
you.
care, guys. Bye-bye.